Welcome back to Educator.com. This is QuickBooks lesson getting started and setting up QuickBooks. The first thing we're going to go ahead and show you is how to get your QuickBooks set up easily, quick and easily, so you can get started with your business and recording your income and tracking your expenses as quickly as possible. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the express start in starting up a new file. So we're going to create a new company. So when we open up QuickBooks for the first time, you should come up with a screen that looks similar to this that says no company opening, because you don't have one. So the options that we have here is create a new company, open an existing one, or open a sample file. At this point, we're going to create a new company file by clicking that. Now we're going to use the express start. The express start is going to go through a quick little tutorial and ask you certain questions. We can set up a company name. This is new company start. The industry, we can choose the industry we have. It's pest control. I don't know. We'll just say whatever. We can type anything we want. The type is going to be, we'll just say like general contracting of some sort, or general product base, or it's a general service, property management, home association. That's probably closest we can get. In the industry for pest control, maybe. And I'm going to call this new pest control company. Okay, we kill your bugs. The company type, we need to know what type of entity you have. Have you set up a corporation? Are you an LLC? Are you a single LLC? Or are you a multi-member LLC? What type of entity are you? So at this point, this is going to be a small single member LLC. We're just going to use that. Okay, so it's going to go on your personal income tax. It's going to be treated like a sole proprietor. Tax ID number. Hopefully you've got your new company with a tax ID number. And then of course we'll move on and say, okay, we go on and we continue to ask all this information here and making sure that we have everything set up. I missed a digit. So we can put in our contact information, our address, all of that information here. I can say 123 Main Street. So it'll be Main Street, and we're going to say this is New City, California, 999 91230. We can put our number and our email address on our website, and so forth. And we can create the company file. Now, once we get that basic information, it'll create the company file for us, and it'll actually ask us where we want to save it. This is where I highly advise you to set up under your documents file or somewhere that's easily accessible, all your company data in file organizing. If you create maybe under documents a folder of your company, and under that you can have subfolders and organization that you can easily follow, but have one folder dedicated to your business, and of which you can put things by year. You can have a permanent file. You can have a permanent folder, permanent file folder under that company folder, etc. And it'll save this company file, and we can add it there. So it went ahead and saved it for us, and it's going to ask us to go through all these different questions. What kind of people do we do business with? What do we? What kind of the preferences we're going to have? These are all the preferences that we're actually adding to here. We can say, what kind of, so we can say, well, we can put in some information we want, import information. We can put in some type of services. What things do we sell? We're going to do service, or non-inventory parts, whichever. We're going to continue and say we're going to do services. We can add those to us right now. We could do it, or we can do it later. And we could put them all in there. We can start adding the types of services like consulting, pest control service, and we charge $125, and we can start putting in these types of things. We might be able to say chemical chemical home spray that we offer or whatever, and that's only $25 or whatever. We have different products and services that we can sell here. We set that up. So then it'll ask us, items to etc. It's going to give us a quick little setup and ask us some quick little information. We can start adding our bank accounts if we wanted to. We have ABC Bank, and we can put in the account number, and we can say the opening balance is $100, and we can say, well, we're starting it as of today, and here it is. This is today's date, and go forward with that. And can say, well, do you want to order into a check so you can print? And yeah, I want to order those. Or, no, I don't want to order those, and so forth. So it's the Express Start gets you started, asking you simple questions to get everything set up properly. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and say start working here, because I want to start working, and I want to look at my business that I just set up. Now that you've done a basic business setup here, it's going to open it up for you and give you a quick little tutorial if you want to. It'll give you some quick little hints on how to do things. I'm going to go ahead and get out of that, and I want to show you some quick things on how to get you up and running now. Now that you have your new company has been set up, the first thing you really want to do is make sure that your chart of accounts is set up properly. So I'm going to go to my chart of accounts either through the home screen or under lists and choose chart of accounts. We set up our bank account, remember, in the Express Start, but with this I want to make sure that I have certain incomes set up. It's not just sales income. I'm a pest control company, so I want to add a new chart, so I can add new things here. In order to do that, and we're going to get into a little detail later, but quickly you can look at your chart of accounts, say I need to add some things. I need to add pest control income. I need to add pest control or chemicals to my cost of goods sold here. Automobile expense, well, that's not detail enough for me. I want to track my fuel, auto fuel. I want to track maintenance and repairs. I want to track parking, whatever. So I'm going to add some sub-accounts. I want to add to that, okay? So it's not big enough. So I'm going to go through and review my chart of accounts and make sure that I'm going to write down how I want to structure it, what items I'm missing, okay? Now, with this, we've already, I've got a bank account, but I've got another bank account that I use this is just kind of a side bank account. I'm going to set up a new bank account, and what am I going to do to get all that taken care of? So, and how I'm going to add a new bank account and opening balances. So I have a savings account too with ABC Bank. This one happens to be my checking account, so I'm going to add one. So in order to edit this one and then add a new one, I'm going to go ahead and highlight ABC Bank because I want to change the name and say it's checking. So I'm going to go down to the bottom left corner where it says account and drop that up and say choose edit account. And it's going to be ABC Bank and it's checking. Okay. I'll type in my change. I will say save and close and make that change. Now I want to add a new account. It's a savings account. So there's a couple ways I can do it. I can click on account and say new, or there's a quick button where I can just type control plus N and it'll give it to me. So control plus N. Oh, wow. I can now add a new account in my chart of accounts. And this happens to be a bank account that I'm adding. So I'll choose bank, click continue. This is going to be ABC Bank and it's savings. I can say save and close. It says you want to set up online services. It's a fake bank. It's a fake bank, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'll say no. But from here, we can actually link our accounts directly to our bank, and we'll show you how to do that in another lesson. So that's how we enter bank accounts. I can go ahead and enter a bank balance for savings. So I'm going to edit that one. So I can say account and say edit that account with it open. I can say, well, my opening balance here, I'm going to enter an opening balance. Well, I have $23 in this bank as of today's date. Okay. And I'll click on OK after entering that under there by clicking on entering opening balance. I'll hit save and close. Now I have $23 and my opening balance equity now is $123. I want to show you how to set up and start putting customers. You might have your first customer, have a couple of already that maybe you're doing business for a year or two, and now you're just implementing QuickBooks for the first time, and you want to add in all your customers. So there's a couple of ways of doing it. I can go to the Customer Center by using the home screen, or I can go to the Customer Center by using the customer icon bar. And now I can add customers. In this form, I see that it's a universal form, uniform with vendors and employees form as well. But in the upper left corner, it says New Customer Job. So if I click on that and drop it down, I can click on New Customer, and it'll give me a quick little new feature ability and give me a little helpful hint. It says manage your customers and vendors and item lists all in one place. And you can paste from Excel and do some quick things, and we can learn about that. But we're going to say, okay, that's fine. And Danny, thanks for the information. I'm going to enter only one customer, and it is Sally Randall is our customer name. So I'm going to fill that out. I'm going to say Sally Randall. First name is Sally. Last name is Randall. And actually, there is no company. It's just a personal name. So I'll get rid of that. And I can put in the address here. It's 456 Cypress Street in New City, California. And I can put in their information here and start adding information and all sorts of stuff. I can put in additional information, how much we're going to charge them. But right now, I'm just interested in setting up that customer, putting in their phone number, and clicking OK and adding that Sally Randall as a new customer. Now with that new customer, Sally Randall has a second house maybe. So you have a guest house maybe. So we're going to add a job that we're going to be doing the pest control for a second house. So I'm going to add a job to Sally Randall. I'm going to do the main house and a guest house. So on the top left button, it says New Customer Job. I'm going to drop that down. I'm going to say Add a Job. It's going to give me a helpful hint here. I'm going to say don't display it anymore. I'm tired of you. And at this point, I'll say this is the main house, okay, for Sally Randall. And its job information is we've been awarded this. We're starting on Saturday to do their work, okay, to start doing the pest control. I'm going to add a second job to this one. And this is going to be the guest house. And we're proposing to do the guest house, but they haven't accepted it yet. And we're hoping to start that on Saturday as well, but we're waiting for that. So I can add information to the customer here, and this is the guest house. And I just added a job. So now we have, oops, let me bring this one back. Notice how I made that mistake. When I added it, I had main house highlighted, so it created a job within the job. The main house and a guest house. I can keep that because it's a guest house, which is a sub back of the main house, but I really want it to be underneath Sally. So to fix that error, if I highlight it, you'll notice this little diamond bar. If I get the crosshairs on it, do a left click, I can drag it over and move it over so it's a sub-account of Sally Randall. Now we could do the same thing, by the way, when we add jobs, is, I'll show you on chart of accounts. You can do the same thing with your chart of accounts by making things and dragging them to another area and making them a sub-account in the same way. I just made the savings account a sub-account of the checking account by dragging that diamond underneath the checking. So any lists, you can reorganize them in that way and make them sub-accounts of another. Okay, so we've done that. Now we want to go ahead and and show you how to add a vendor. So see if you can figure this one out on your own, and I bet you can. After we've added customers, it's very similar. So I'm going to close down this customer window by going to Window, and I'm going to close all. Don't want everything up. I'm going to go to my Vendor Center. Now, we don't have any vendors, but I do use AT&T for my cellular. So I'm going to add AT&T as a vendor. So as I look at the Vendor Center, lo and behold, it looks just like my Customer Center. So I'm going to click on New Vendor and say New Vendor. And it's going to be AT&T Wireless. It's my company name. I'll say it's AT&T Wireless. As you know, I can always actually have the vendor name something else. I can just say AT&T, but the company could be AT&T Wireless, whichever. And then we can add the address and so forth. And we can put in the information we need to, the contact information. We can email, all of that. And when I write the check, it'll be AT&T Wireless, and I can change that as well if I like. So I add that new customer, that new vendor, AT&T Wireless. And now that when I get a bill from them, I can go ahead and set it up and pay them and write a check to them. There's so many different accounts that we can set up in QuickBooks. And what I want to show you at this point is, again, back to our chart of accounts. By going to List and Chart of Accounts, we're going to pull that up. And we can look at the additional items that we can put in here. When we add new accounts, if I do a Control-N, we have other types of accounts. And let's look at those that can be included in our chart of accounts. We have accounts receivable, which we know of, current assets, other assets, accounts payable. We have current liabilities, long-term liabilities, cost of goods sold, other income, and other expenses. What would that be, other income or other expenses? A lot of times our banks might pay us interest, which really isn't part of our core business. So we don't want to track that as part of it, our income, because it wouldn't be true. But if we're generating interest from our banks, we would create an other income as interest income, and we could put it as an other income, which would be below our regular income statement, so that kind of separates it out, and it's not going to gum up our true business income, so we can track things better. Same thing with other expenses. We might have certain expenses that we don't want to include in our administrative expenses. We can put those down as bad debts. We can put them in other categories, in the other expense categories. So those are other types of additional accounts there. We have products and services that we're going to show you now too. And so in our pest control business, we're doing pest control. We might do termite. We have a variety of products and services. We might even sell a home remedy for people that don't want chemicals. We can sell the orange oil or whatever to our customers, or provide that service as well. So let's see what that looks like. So from lists, from the list menu, we can choose item list, and we can look at all of our products and services that we can set up. For here, I'm going to choose under the item list at the bottom left. I'm going to say new, and this I'm going to say I'm going to sell a non-inventory part, and this is going to be a home chemical for, or home spray for people that just want to buy Raid from us maybe. And I can set that up and say it's home spray. Home bug spray is what I'll call it. How's that? Home bug spray. And with that we can sell it. And I'm gonna sell it to them for $25. And the income would be sales income at this point in time. So whenever I sell that, it's going to be part of my sales income. If I wanted to add a new one, I could type in a new one and say, well, this is product income. When I type in product income under account, I don't have it. It doesn't exist. But QuickBooks is so nice. It says, it's not on the account list. You want to set it up? I say, sure I do. It happens to be an income account. It's product income. Great. Put it in there for me. I hit save and close, and it adds it for me. I can say OK, and it adds that particular non-inventory part as a product that I can sell. Okay, so we can add different products and services. This is how we invoice our customers. This is how we generate our income. These are all the products and services that we offer. That's a quick overview on how we can set up and get started quick and easily, get your QuickBooks up and easy so you can begin tracking your income and your expenses and be more profitable in your business. Thanks for visiting Educator.com. We'll see you next time.